cash budget is prepared to estimate the various cash receipts and cash payments for a specific budget period. So we are estimating only the cash receipts and the cash payments in case of cash budget. So maybe how much cash we are receiving in a particular budgeted period and how much of cash payment we are yet to be making in that specific budget period shall be considered under the cash budget. Why are we doing this? We are doing this for the purpose of determining the closing cash balance which we shall be having at that specific budgeted period ending. Okay, so that is what is a cash budget. How do we prepare this cash budget? Under the receipt and payment method, we will have the opening balance of cash at the beginning of the budget period. To this cash balance which we are having, we shall add all the cash receipts which we are likely to get in that particular budget period. After this, we shall minus all the cash payments which we are going to incur, which we are estimating that we shall incur in that budget period. When we do this, we shall arrive at our closing cash balance. Let us understand with this with an example. So, if you're considering a cash budget for the month of April, the opening balance shall be given to us, maybe 25,000 as assuming it to be. So 25,000 of our opening balance we shall have, to which we shall add our cash receipt, maybe 2,000, which we are likely to going to incur in that month, which will be our total receipts, that is 27,000, from which maybe our payments shall be 7,000. So what is the cash that we shall be having at the end of the month of April will be determined this way. So we'll be having just 20,000 left with us, right? So this is basic understanding. So what is the opening balance which is available with us? What is the cash we have it in our hand? What are the various receipts that we are going to receive in that particular budget period? What is the various payments that we are going to incur in that budget period? And finally, what is the cash that we shall have at the end of that budget period shall be determined under cash budget. This is a receipt and payment method. Let us understand this with an example, a simple example. A company has 30,000 in cash in hand on 1st April 2018. The company requires you to prepare a cash budget for 3 months. So when they say 3 months, starting from April 2018, we should include April, May and June. So this is just a rough work which I'm going to do. In the further part of the video, you will have the actual solution. The following information is provided. So they have given you this table which shall give you the whole information relating to the incomes and the expenses. After which they have told us other information which is given to us. So the period of credit allowed by suppliers is 2 months. So who are the suppliers? Suppliers are those who are providing the raw materials to our company. So when the suppliers are providing raw materials, the company is purchasing the raw materials from them, right? So the period of credit allowed by the suppliers is 2 months, which means if you purchase in the month of February, the payment can be made in the month of April. There can be 2 months delay in the payment. Fine. Then March payment can be made or should be made in the month of May. April should be made in the month of June. This is what the first statement says. The period of credit allowed to the suppliers is 2 months. So they have 2 months for paying their, for the company to pay their expenses, that is purchase expenses. Okay, so this is what we have to do with the purchases. Next, we have 25% of sale is for cash. So now we're moving on to the sales column. They say 25% of the month's sales is for cash. So for the month of April, this 80,000's 25% shall be for cash. So 80,000 we shall multiply into, so 80,000, I'm just writing the shortcut there. So 80,000 25% shall be on cash basis for the month of April, which is 20,000. So what we do is, first we consider the opening balance. Opening balance is given as 30,000 for the month of April. Next, we consider the various cash receipts. So under cash receipts, we have first one is cash sales. So what is the cash sales for month of April? It is 20,000. We take that into the column. Next, we have for the month of May. For the month of May also, 25% of it would be paid in the month of May itself. So 92,000 again into, sorry, 92,000 into 25% shall go for the month of May, which shall be 23,000. When you calculate, you get that amount. June also same applies. 25% of 1 lakh is 25,000, which shall go into June's column. So we are done with this adjustment, the second adjustment. The third one says the period of credit to customers for credit is 1 month. So the period of credit given to the customers is 1 month. So if the 25% is paid in the current month, the leftover, that is 75%, shall be paid in the next month. So for example, if you're considering for the month of April, March will be its preceding month. So 70,000, 25% has been paid in the month of March. So left out 75% shall be paid in the month of April. So 70,000 into 75 divided by 100 shall go as collection from debtors for the month of April, which is 52,500. Okay, so for the month of May, 20,000 of 80,000, 20,000 is already paid in the month of April. So left out is 60,000, which shall be paid in the month of May. Same thing for the month of June. 23,000 out of 92,000 has been paid in the month of May. So the left out, that is 69,000, you have to minus. So 92,000 minus 23,000 is 69,000. So this shall be paid in the month of June. So what we do next is we total the April's column receipts. So 20,000 plus 25,000, sorry, 52,500. We just add these two, add 30,000 and arrive at the total receipts. Next, delay in payment of wages and expenses is 1 month. So they're speaking about the payment of wages and the expenses which is given here. So they are saying March's expense will be paid in the month of April will be paid in the month of May. So the May's wages shall be paid in the month of June. The expense also, the same thing will apply. So March's expense will be paid in the month of April. April's expense will be paid in the month of May. May's will be paid in the month of June. Okay. Next, they are saying income tax of rupees 20,000 is paid in the month of June. So in the June's column, we have an additional expense, that is to an income tax paid 20,000. So we start recording all the expenses here. So what do? We consider first the collection from creditors, that is the collection to be paid, the payment to be made to our creditors. So that will come here first. So 30,000, 40,000 and 50,000 respectively. Then we have this delay in payment to be recorded, after which we have income tax to be recorded only in the column of June. The other two columns don't have that balance. Okay, so let us see how the solution goes. Okay, here we have the solution. So the 30,000 opening balance has been recorded here as opening balance for the month of April. Then we have recorded the 25% sales for cash. So cash sales has been recorded as 20,000 for the month, for the April month, as I told you, to a 25% of 80,000. May 23,000, which is 25% of 92,000. June it is 25,000, which is 25% of 1 lakh. Collection from debtors is the next part. That is, we have seen period of credit to customers for credit is 1 month. So 70,000, 75% will be paid in month of April, which is 52,500. If you calculate, you'll get that amount. The same thing goes here. So 80,000, 20 is already been paid here. So we consider only the remaining amount 60 for the month of May. So April's done. So next we have May, will be considered in month of June. So 75% of 92,000, which is 69,000, or you can simply subtract 1 lakh minus 23,000. You will get this amount. So what we do next is we total these two, 20 plus 52,500. We get a total cash receipt for the month of April, that is 72,500. After this, we shall consider all the cash payments which are being made here. So first thing is collection from creditors. So collection, sorry, this actually collection to the payment to creditors. Okay, so we'll just take it as creditors here, not collection, it's payment. Okay, payment to creditors. So payment, the first thing is 30,000, which is belonging to month of February. Then we have 40,000 for the month of March, which is paid in the month of May. Then we have 50,000, which is paid in the month of June. April's expenditure, that is, which is paid in the month of June. Next we have wages. So wages, we have 1 month delay, right? So 88,000 first month, that is April, 9,000 for the month of May, and 10,000 for the month of June, because May's expense will be paid in June, April's will be paid in May, and March's will be paid in April. The same thing applies for expenses as well. So we consider the same way. 2,000 goes to April, 2,500 goes to April, 6,000 goes to May, and then 4,000 goes to June. So that is done. Next we have income tax, which is paid. So 20,000 has been paid, so we record that amount in June's column. After which we total all the payments. We arrive at 40,500 for the month of April. So the total cash payments is 40,500 for the month of April. So what we do next is we take the opening balance, we add cash receipts, finally minus our cash payments. So 30 plus 72,500 whatever amount we get, we subtract 40,500 from that. So when we do that, we get 30 plus 72,500 is 1,02,500. When we subtract 40,500 from that, we get 62,000. So this 62,000 is our closing cash balance for the month of April. So month of April is done. Now we consider this closing balance of month of April to be the opening cash balance for the month of May. So 62,000 comes here as opening for month of May. We add these two receipts, we get 82,000. We add these three payments, we get 55,000 as our payments. The same method again, 60 plus 83, that is 62,000 plus 83,000 shall give you 1,45,000 minus 55,000 will give you 90,000. Okay, next we have the same method applying. Okay, so we take this 90 as our opening balance for the month of June. So 90,000 opening balance for the month of June. To this, next step, we need to add both the receipts, that is 25,000 plus 69,000. We get 94,000. So 90,000 plus 94,000 shall give you 1,84,000. Next, we take all these four expenses added together and arrive at 84,000. So 1,84,000 minus 84,000 shall give you 1 lakh cash balance, which is remaining cash balance for the month of June. So this is how you solve a cash budget sum. Okay, so this is when you get positive figures. Sometimes we shall have a negative amount at the ending. So whenever there's a negative amount, for example, if the payments are exceeding your receipts, then we might have a negative. So when we have a negative closing cash balance, this means to say that we are supposed to avail a overdraft facility or any other credit facility. So better to go for overdraft facility. Usually the question says overdraft, so we shall write a statement saying that the so and so amount whichever we have derived, that amount to be taken on overdraft. Okay, so this is the whole sum for cash budget. This is just a simple sum. So when you advance with the sums, it will help you better. So this is just a basic understanding of how a cash budget sum is solved. Thank you.